I think I'd known for a minute. There was a lot of, look, I don't want to go into too much detail, but there was a lot of politics going on.
On the Call Her Daddy podcast, Zayn Malik kept it vague when it came to what caused the One Direction guys to go anywhere but One Direction together at a certain point. Liam Payne was a little more forthcoming back in May.
There was one moment where there was an argument backstage and one member in particular threw me up a wall. So I said to him, if you don't remove those hands, there's a high likelihood you'll never use them again.
We'd been together every day for 5 years and we got sick of each other, if we're being completely honest.
I think it was well known within the band that I don't like taking shit
Right.
at a certain point. I made it very obvious. I'm not going to tell you how.
Certain people were doing certain things, certain people didn't want to sign contracts. So I knew something was happening.
Yeah, back in 2015, Zayn's mind of his decided that this band would not be going in the same direction for much longer.
And I completely selfishly wanted to be the first person to go and make my own record. If I'm being completely honest with you, I was like, I'm going to jump the gun here for the first time.
So after announcing his departure from 1D in March 2015, he dropped his debut album the following March. On the Impulsive podcast, Liam was both critical and supportive of his former bandmate.
Listen, I don't agree with any of his actions. I can't commend some of the things that he's done. I can't be on his side for that. What I can say is I understand.
I'm a passive dude, but when it comes to my music and my business, I'm serious about it and I'm competitive. So I wanted to be the first to go and do my own thing.
There's many reasons why I dislike Zayn, and there's many reasons why I'll always be on his side.
We were close, you know, we done crazy things with each other and that nobody else in the world will ever understand or have them experiences that we've shared with each other. And I look back on it now in a much fonder light than I would have, you know, as I'd just left.
You can always look at the man for where he is and say, oh yeah, whatever, that guy's a dick, right? But at the end of the day, once you understand what he's been through to get to that point.
It came across really big-headed, didn't it? Wow.
After that appearance on the Impulsive podcast back in May, Liam went to rehab and just posted an apology video on Saturday.
It was hard for me to watch back.
3 days before Zayn's Call Her Daddy interview dropped.
A lot of what I just said just came from the wrong place. I was so angry at what was going on around me, and instead of taking a look inwards, I decided to look outwards at everybody else. My own frustrations with my own career and where I kind of landed. I took shots at everybody else, which is wrong. So obviously I want to apologise for that in the first instance, because that's definitely not me.
Liam revealed that the 1D guys still have his back.
The rest of the boys are really stuck by me, and when I needed them most, they kind of came to the rescue. Even Zayn as well, which is why I did send him a little thank you online actually.
So for me, the insight into why the band started to fall apart is nothing new. I mean, that's the same story we've heard of how many bands at this point. The surprising thing, and I like the honesty that Zayn has in terms of wanting to be the first. It's not a bad move. Because, I mean, not that, being first is, what makes you a success as a solo artist. Of course not. But yeah, I think if Zayn was the last to put out a solo album, Mind of Mine wouldn't have done as nearly as well as it did. And by the way, I don't really think Liam said anything that was that bad. I mean, he was more supportive and defending of Zayn than anything else. He was just honest. Like, I don't see him bashing Zayn at all in that clip. It's honesty. And I know fans don't want to hear any kind of, issues between any of the guys. Of course there's going to be issues. But yeah, I didn't think Liam was unfair or was out of line. I think he was just honest. And yeah, he was more supportive of Zayn than anything else. But yeah, what do you think of both Zayn and Liam's comments about the crumbling of One Direction?